folks. I'm Connor Rowntree. You can find me on Twitter at SportsWithTree. Today we are joined by Tyler May, T-May. He's from MySpari, one of their analysts over there, and we are happy to have him. T-May, your Yankees are rolling. As we alluded to before the show, our producer Jason gave you a couple jabs, and now they've rattled off, I think, 7 straight wins. We'll just hand the floor over to you for a bit, and you can roast Jason for the first 10 seconds.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I would just like to thank Jason for turning around the Yankee season. It was really disappointing before he opened his mouth, so I'm glad he did it.
And at the same time, his Mets, also in New York, have fallen out of the postseason, so we're just loving the producer today here on Monkey Knife Fight Live. Now, folks, if you weren't aware, we're back with the Home Run Blast, $25,000, $25K. T-May, I think that's where we have to start for the day. A couple guys that are going to mash tonight. Who are you looking at on MySpari? What is the model projecting? And then I'll mix in a couple picks as well.
It's a day that ends with Y. So Shohei Ohtani is in my home run blast for today. He's just really good. And, he has I'm sure a great matchup today. He is facing Cleveland, who has not even announced a pitcher. So that's not good news. It's likely some sort of a taxi squad situation there. So, he looks really good. My second pick is Eloy Jimenez. Ooh. And so they are playing Tampa Bay against Michael Wacha. So that's an amazing spot for him. And he comes in third in the Spari model at 2.5 total bases.
Wow, we always love that. And that's for the main games, so the main slate there, folks. Mm-hmm. And then I actually just want to add one of Toronto's own in that one because I see him, Teoscar Hernandez. He's been absolutely crushing the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, home runs in 4 consecutive games. Got a pretty good matchup tonight. He's slugging pretty well against left-handers this season, like Alexander. So I like Hernandez to go long. Another couple guys to look out for tonight. I like Pete Alonso. We'll just throw that one to the producer. We'll throw him a bone, Jason. Pete Alonso's got 2 dingers and 8 at-bats against Walker Buehler. Someone else to look out for in that game is Max Muncie. He's been crushing it with 5 dingers in his last 5 games. T-May, where do Pete Alonso, Max Muncie, and Teoscar Hernandez come in at? I'm throwing all 3 of them at you at once here, so try to keep up with me. But where are those guys projecting on MySpari?
See, Teoscar Hernandez, he looks really good. We have him at 2.1 total bases. It's a really good matchup against Tyler Alexander, who is, pretty susceptible to, having rough starts. He will have those blow-up starts. He's probably going to have that today with almost a 6-run total for Toronto. So that looks really good. Let's see where Pete Alonso comes in. We have him at 1.76. I just think with the pitchers on this slate, it doesn't really make sense to attack Walker Buehler, but if you want to play the batter versus pitcher game, that does make sense. And who's the third guy?
We had Max Muncie. He's got 5 dingers. He's in that same matchup with the Dodgers there. He said he didn't really want to attack the pitching in that game, but 5 dingers in 5 games. You never know. There could be something there.
Yeah. I mean, we have him at 2 total bases, and Carlos Carrasco is going from the Mets. That's not a bad spot. Yeah, it's not a bad spot for Muncie at all. Certainly a really good home run hitter.
Jason, is there somebody on the Mets pitching staff that hasn't been spotty as of late?
If we go back, I think Jacob Degrom still, at this point in the season, is still
on the IL.
He's still top 10 in WAR, total WAR for the whole year.
Yeah, but he's not playing.
I know, but it's amazing.
But he's okay. That's enough.
I would take a 60% one-armed Jacob Degrom left-handed.
I can't mute you. Darn it.
Hey,
all right, getting into a couple other names that are just good options here. I like Kyle Seeger. He has 5 home runs in his last 15 games. He also has a pair of dingers against McCullers. Where does he come in on MySpari teammate? Just another name. Kyle Seeger obviously been around the league for a while. He can mash 5 home runs in his last 15 games, as I said.
Was there actually breaking news, or were we just being sarcastic?
No, I was going to say breaking news. Jacob Degrom is really good.
No.
Kyle Seeger, he's coming in at 1.7 total bases. So again, probably not somewhere I'm going to go, but I did say something really interesting on Kyle Seeger. So he's hitting like 1-something with nobody on base, but then he's hitting over 300 with guys on base. So that's That's
Clutch.
something.
That's you can't get on base. Don't have him hit it and lead off. That's kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah.
You want him in the cleanup spot right now. Where does Nelson Cruz come in on the model? He's hitting 400 with 4 home runs and 25 at bats against Giolito. Giolito, obviously not a guy that you usually want to attack, but that's a nice matchup there.
Yeah, so we got Nelly Cruz coming in at 1.95. So I mean that's still a solid number. Giolito's a kind of a guy. It's either feast or fame with him. So he's either gonna dominate you or he's gonna suck. So if you wanna kind of roll the dice there, I think Nelly Cruz is a pretty good option.
And what about Josh Bell? He's a big guy. He can hit the ball far. He's hitting 429 against Anderson with a dinger, and he's also racked up 8 home runs over his last 30 games played. So always an option there.
So Josh Bell is not someone I'm going to go to. We have him at 1.67 total bases, and I think just on a slate of this size, there's going to be better options there.
Let's do a little recap here. A little recap of we have a couple. You can do a couple different combinations, right, Connor? We have all from the same slate.
Oh yeah, no, lots of. That's what I was alluding to beforehand, and why I just kind of started throwing out names. Sorry about my internet there. For some reason, I just connected to my printer on Wi-Fi. I didn't do that; it just automatically connected. I'm back. But no, there's a lot of names in that main slate that just really pop out in favorable matchups where the batter has a good history against the pitcher. And I want to just touch on one more there. Josh Donaldson, 2015 MVP, love it. He has a dinger against Cortez and also has 9 hits in his last 7 games. So he's been seeing the ball well. Where does he come in on the model tonight, Team A?
So we have Donaldson at 1.6 total bases. And
so another guy to stay away from.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to go there. Nestor's been pretty good. He's not exactly a guy that's going to be wild. So I don't know. I mean, Donaldson's a solid power hitter, so that's not really a bad option, but I'll probably stay away from him because of the model.
All right. Well, if we were going to lock in our top 3 picks, obviously Shohei Ohtani was up there. Who was your second up pick again there, Team A?
Eloy Jimenez.
Eloy Jimenez. Obviously, Team A mentioned the matchup there. And then for me, I think my third guy's got to be Teoscar Hernandez. When a guy's got home runs in 4 straight games and there's $24,000 on the line, I think for the home run blast, those are our top 3 for the main slate. Team A, are we good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Perfect. Yeah, home runs in 4 straight games. Then Team A had Shohei Ohtani, obviously leading the league with 40 dingers, and his final pick was, Team A, take it away.
Eloy Jimenez.
There it is. Boom. Kyle Seeger was there. Pete Alonso was there, and Max Muncie were kind of the safer picks. And then I had a couple ones that were just not in favorable matchups on MySpari, but they've shown out before. So those are the kind of top 3, and then the 3 to fade going into the home run blast for the main slate. Team A, before we got on air today, you mentioned that, hey, can we do a home run blast for the late games? And we absolutely can. So after we get this going down here, we'll take a look at that slate here with Jason, and you can take it away.
Okay. Yeah, we can go night. So night games. Starting it off with Fernando Tatis. Leading the sparring model in total bases, and he's just he's had a lot of home runs, obviously. I'm pretty sure I saw the numbers at like 9 at-bats per home run. So Tatis looks really good. And then Matt Olson, he looks good as well. He's facing Alex Wood, I believe. And I mean, it is a lefty-lefty matchup, but Matt Olson is pretty good against both sides, so I don't mind going with Matt Olson on the night slate.
Yeah, Matt Olson's got 3 home runs. Obviously, he had a home run in last night's contest on Thursday night there. He's got 3 home runs over his past 10 games. So he's been seeing the ball well. So I really like those picks. And there's Max Muncie right there and Pete Alonso, 2 guys that we mentioned earlier. So you can bounce around there, and then bang. Obviously, you had Matt Olson there, right there to the right. That bang. And we're cruising. Yeah, actually, Matt Olson and Tatis were my picks for the late game too. So we're kind of thinking alike there. Obviously, Tatis is mashing. I saw a picture of him in the home it was like a rat race thing on Twitter. It was kind of like the rat race, but it was an MVP race. And I saw Tatis in there. And I was kind of talking on air. I forget who the other day on Sports Tree. And it was just like, man, Tatis doesn't feel like he should be in that conversation in the MVP race. And then bam, he goes out and smashes a dinger and shuts me up right away. That tends to happen a lot. Team A, what other matchups are we looking for tonight across Monkey Knife Fight?
Yeah, I'm over at the Yankees against the Twins. That's a pretty big matchup today. And I'm at the rapid fire 3 out of 3 for that game. No, just the individual game.
Try to find the.
It's at the top. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So rapid fire 3 out of 3.
Very first one.
So Nestor Cortez against Charlie Barnes. I'm taking Nestor Cortez. Charlie Barnes doesn't really look like a guy that's going to go really deep in the game, anyways. And I really don't have faith in him to really succeed against the Yankees. And then I'm taking Aaron Judge over DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu does have the bonus, but I'm taking Judge there.
Sorry, it's we're going to a rapid fire here, Jason. If you could just pull that up. Sorry, teammate, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Yeah,
Jason was just clicking around the more or less. It was the 3 for 3. Teammate loves the 3 for 3. He likes to get people paid here on MKF Live on our
all
Fridays.
Over the place on the production. It's a 3 for 3 more or less, or a rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Nestor Cortez.
Bang, you got it.
Aaron Judge.
There
we go. And then I'm taking Joey Gallo over Mitch Garver. They grade up really close in the model, and Gallo has the bonus. So I'm taking Gallo.
Yeah, those are 3 solid picks. And it's kind of hard to go against the Yankees right now. Obviously, we started the top of the show giving you your dues, Team A, as a Yankees fan, and rightfully so. Obviously, they're now in the playoffs. The Boston Red Sox are on the outside looking in. They're a hot team, and I would definitely ride with that. I'm confident in those picks. So, folks, you can scroll down there, select your buy-in, anything that you're comfortable with, and then go down, hit submit, and you are in to win. Team A, what's next? You usually have a couple of these rapid-fire contests up your sleeve. You're like a wizard with these things.
I love when Team A is like, yeah, I got a 7x7 rapid fire coming up.
And it's always casual.
Yeah.
He'll present a 2 for 2 more or less contest the same way he'll present 100 times by payout.
Casual 19x19, 27,000 extra buy.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Yeah. So heading over to the late games. You guessed it. Rapid fire 3 out of 3 here. So I am. Oh, let's find it. There we go. I'm taking James Krapilian over Lance McCullers because Krapilian's got the bonus, and with the bonus, we have him just coming over Lance McCullers. So I like Krapilian there.
Sorry, team. Are you in the late game slate or a specific game?
No, that's it's the late games.
Okay, I think they might have changed it recently.
It's Kikuchi now.
They make it. Yeah, they must have just updated it an hour ago. Is that cool?
Okay,
we can adjust.
Kikuchi.
Yeah. What's Kikuchi's bonus?
Plus 2.5 pitching strikeouts, and then his. Okay. Let's see. His MySpari is. Kikuchi.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Kikuchi.
He's 5.5 on Spari strikeouts.
Yeah, for sure. Kikuchi there, and then everything else the same. Okay. So Carson Kelly and Christian Walker grade out really close. So I'm taking Carson Kelly with the bonus. And then for total bases, I'm taking Trevor Story because he's got the bonus, and he grades out really close to Katelyn Marte.
Yeah, you got to love those bonuses, obviously. And the total bases, I mean, that's one that I don't think the bonus affects as much because one swing in the bat, obviously, you could get 1 base or you could get 2 bases. But for the runs in RBI, that 0.5 really comes through because you're not always going to get an RBI. You're not always going to score a run every game. So you can literally win it just with no action at all right there, obviously. So we like the bonuses there. Team A, go down, select your buy. Well, not Team A, people listening at home. Team A's picks, everybody. Go down, select your buy, and hit submit. And as always, you're in to win. Now, there was a Blue Jays rapid fire contest that I wanted to touch on. Obviously, Team A. I had your typical Blue Jays lineup ready to go. They have an interesting matchup tonight against Detroit. And if we go to the rapid fire contest, yeah, you see Tyler Anderson there, Alexander, pardon me, with only 2.5 strikeouts. So just keep that in mind. And now let's scroll over to the rapid fire contest there. Just no, the 3 for 3 with the pitchers. There you go. Look at that bonus. 5.5. Now, for the people at home, Tyler Alexander has thrown 4 strikeouts in back-to-back games. His line on MKF, obviously 2.5. So the Blue Jays, while they don't strike out a lot, 5.5 is a lot. And the Blue Jays as a team right now are struggling. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. The bats are working. The pitching arms are not. I'm comfortable going against the Blue Jays and Tyler Alexander. It's just 5.5 strikeouts. That's 6 strikeouts in hand. Team A, how do you see that one stacking up?
Yeah, so I'm probably going with Tyler Alexander as well. It just seems like, Robbie Ray getting 10 strikeouts. I don't really see that as a probable outcome. It could definitely happen, but I would say more often than not that Alexander probably hits there. So for the total bases, I'm going to go with Teoscar Hernandez. We already mentioned the home run blast. He looks really good. And for runs and RBIs, I am taking Vlad because he's got the bonus over Rich.
Yeah, that was one. We went with Tyler Anderson just because the 5.5 strikeouts is so much. Robbie Ray, obviously a strikeout pitcher. Blue Jays pitching staff has been struggling, though. And the only real bright spot actually, ironically, has kind of been their bullpen because of how bad their starting pitching has been over the last week or so, losing 5 of 6. Teoscar Hernandez is a beast, as we said. And then Vlad Guerrero with the boost there over Grichuk is something that you just have to lock in. And that's why I want to talk about this Team A, because I really, really like that line. I think anytime you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a guy who's a top dollar fantasy guy, depending on your fantasy platform, at 1, 2, 3, runs and RBIs, he's mashing home runs, second in the league. He's always going to be a threat to hit a dinger and go long. So I really like that matchup there. So, folks, you can scroll down. And those Team A and I actually agreed. He picked Teoscar Hernandez before I did. So, obviously, those are the 3 to go with there. And hit submit, and you're in to win. Team A, any other matchups that you're looking for across Monkey Knife Fight today?
Yeah, so I like going to Philly at San Diego. It's a really good game, and
you
a
got
solid spot
Snell on the
go
bump.
to.
Look at him, Blake Snell.
Oh, I'm actually going back to the rapid fire 3 out of 3. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, so I'm taking Blake Snell over Matt Moore. We only have Matt Moore projected for 2.6 strikeouts, and we have Blake Snell coming in at 6. So I'm taking Blake Snell. A lot more upside there, and he's facing the Padres lineup, which is not really good for Matt Moore. And then I'm taking Tatis over Will Myers for the total bases. Tatis, highest graded guy in the MySpari model, and just seems to always hit homers. So that makes sense. And then I'm taking Manny Machado over Austin Nola, just a more talented hitter. And they come in relatively close on the model. So I will take Machado because he's probably in better run scoring spots.
Yeah, I'm always going to lean towards the third baseman versus the catcher, just based on the where they are in the batting order, especially a guy like Manny Machado who can mash. Something to note there, Will Myers, he had 2 dingers the other night, so he's kind of one of those guys that's either a hit or miss. So Tatis, obviously the safe play there. I like Tatis, but if anyone's going to break that, unfortunately, Will Myers is either going to strike out 4 times or hit 2 dingers against you. It's just how it is. Team A, I love those picks. Blake Snell, probably the most volatile pitcher. He'll throw 10 strikeouts, but his ERA will also reflect as a 10 by the end of the night. But all we need is the strikeouts. Folks, go down, hit more, and you're in to win. Team A, thank you so much for that one. I love that matchup right there. I didn't even notice that one when I was going through today, and I was looking at that because I don't know. I'm a big Blake Snell guy. I'm just a firm believer that he's too good for how bad he's been pitching this season. Anyway, Team A, any other matchups across Monkey Knife Fight?
Let's see. Actually, I wanted to see. I had a late games home run blast. That we actually didn't talk about any of the players in there, so that's fun.
Well, let's get to it.
So I had
if it's an opportunity to win $25,000, we got to talk about it.
Yeah, so I had Katelyn Marte as my first pick in there. We have Katelyn Marte coming in at 2.2 total bases, and that looks like a really good matchup. And I believe they're in cores. Yeah, they are playing in course, so that's a really good spot for Katelyn Marte.
Yeah, that's the air is quite thin up there.
Yeah.
That ball flies.
And then I got Nolan Aaronato. He's coming in at 2.08 total bases, and he is facing Brett Anderson. So that's a really good matchup for Nolan Aaronato. Little lefty righty matchup there, and he just kills left-handed pitching. And then my third guy, it's going to be Willie Adamus. He grades out really well. We have him at 2.07. And he is facing Miles Mikolas, who isn't exactly the best starting pitcher in the world. So those are my three for the late games.
Yeah. How about where does Jordan Alvarez come in on MKF for the late slate? He's hitting 364 against Yusei Kikuchi through his career with a home run and has 3 jacks in his last 15 games. So obviously he's been sending the ball deep as of late. That was one guy that I just wanted to touch on for this slate in particular.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a fine pick as well. So he's facing Yusei Kikuchi, he's a guy that will give up the home run ball, but usually where Kikuchi gets into trouble is where he's just putting guys on base and then guys are just getting hits. I'm probably going to stay away from the lefty matchup here, but Jordan Alvarez is typically always a good pick.
Yeah, and then another name that popped up there that we mentioned earlier, folks, was I noticed that Alonso was in that home run blast as well. So Oakland, the Oakland A's are also available. So if you want to mix one of those guys in there as well. Teammate, great 3 picks there.
Mm-hmm.
Marte, I love it. I feel like Marte is just so overlooked because he's playing in Arizona and just the state of that organization right now. I guess, well, the state of this season, really. They could probably turn it around, but not this year. It's gonna next season, definitely a next season thing. Folks, go down, select your buy-in, and remember, it's a minimum $5 entry. You can play all 3 slates. You can play individual games if you want, but you have to have a minimum $5 entry to get in to win your share of the $25,000 on Monkey Knife Fight. Team A, any other last matchups that we should look at going into the action today in the MLB?
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the late games. I think this one is pretty soft. So we're going to the late games, and it's a more or less 2 out of 2. It's not the first one. It's the one. Yeah, there you go. Yep, that's what I got. So I'm taking less on both. So Kikuchi. He has a really tough matchup against Houston. That's really probably the toughest matchup in baseball. And Kikuchi is a guy that, he walks a lot of guys. That's going to raise his pitch count, which would make it hard for him to go deeper into the game. And Brett Anderson. Oh, it says he's going against Washington here. To get
the just so everyone at home knows, that's 17.5 outs. So if you multiply 3 by that, so it comes out to he needs to pitch 6 full innings to get to get the more on that. So that's a tough ask against the Houston lineup from any pitcher, let alone Yusei Kikuchi. So I really like that pick there, Team A.
Okay, yeah. Circling back, I just saw that St. Louis is actually playing Pittsburgh. So really, same deal for Nolan Aaronato. He's facing Mitch Keller, and he's a guy that gives up a lot of homers. So same thing there. So Brett Anderson, he's going against Washington, and Brett Anderson's a guy that will give up his hits. So I'm still gonna go. I'm going less.
Yeah, I mentioned the Josh Bell matchup there, but outside of Josh Bell, when I was looking through the lineup in that game, there wasn't a big threat to him. But Anderson, again, not a big strikeout pitcher, and Washington just dominated, and quite frankly, just dominated a solid Blue Jays team. So they got to have a little bit of confidence despite the fire sale that was their trade deadline. So I like that pick there as well.
Right.
Folks, again, scroll down, select your buy-in, hit submit, and you're in to win. Team A, before we go, any last words about the Yankees to our producer, Jason? I noticed how much quieter Jason has been towards the back end of the show. Just let you get one or two last jabs in before we go, and then we meet up. We'll reconvene next week for another $25,000 on Monkey Knife Fight on Friday for the home run blast.
Yeah, so the Yankees aren't even healthy yet, so it's only going to get better.
That's the hot take. There it is, folks.
I mean, they definitely can. They're going to have one of the best lineups in the postseason if they're healthy. So,
where does their pitching rack up? Just now that we brought up the conversation, we have it going. Well, can teammate on the spot right now? Can the Yankees win the World Series with their lineup and their pitching?
Yeah, it's going to depend if Corey Kluber or Luis Severino are healthy. It doesn't look like Severino is going to be a guy, but Kluber's on the way back, and
it's probably going to be Cy Young winner.
Yeah, it's going to be Cole, Kluber, Tyone, hopefully. So
we'll see what happens, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in today on Monkey Knife Fight Live. Jason Rubin is our producer. Team A at Team A DFS, pardon me, is how you find Tyler May on Twitter. And then obviously he's from MySpari, the best model there is in the game, folks. I'm Connor Rowntree. You can follow along at Sports with Tree on Twitter. And remember, folks, daily fantasy sports for the rest of us here at Monkey Knife Fight. And remember to hit it hard.